My people, one of the most powerful oil alliances in modern history just got broken. And no, not by war, not by sanctions, not by collapse, but by a country, one country, bold enough to decide that it no longer needed permission. The United Arab Emirates just walked away from OPEC after nearly 60 years. And while most of the conversation is focused on whether that move is good or bad, there's a deeper story here that developing nations, especially across Africa and the Caribbean, cannot afford to miss. Because this story isn't really about oil, it's about power. It's about what happens when a country reaches a point where it can look at the system, the alliances, the rules that everyone else is trying to negotiate within and say, we're done. This no longer serves our interests. And here's the part that should really make you pause. The UAE didn't make this move because it had to. It made this move because it could. Because in just about half a century, the UAE has gone from a collection of desert sheikdoms, largely dependent on fishing and pearling, to one of the most strategically positioned economies in the world. A country that discovered oil in the mid-20th century, the same time as many African nations, namely Nigeria, and didn't just export it, but strategically used it to build leverage, to build cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi into global hubs, to build sovereign wealth funds worth hundreds of billions, to invest in infrastructure, aviation, finance, logistics, and now AI. So this didn't happen overnight. This was built. And so now the real question is, how did the UAE get to a point where it could do this, where it could walk away from one of the most powerful alliances in the world and absorb the consequences? And more importantly, why can't Africa do the same? Why is it that a country with fewer people, fewer resources, and a smaller footprint on the global stage can make a move this bold, one that sends shockwaves through the global oil industry, while an entire continent that holds nearly 30% of the world's natural resources, from oil and gas to gold, cobalt, and some of the richest human capital, is still negotiating its place within systems that were never designed in its favor? So today we're breaking down why the United Arab Emirates, the UAE, decided to exit OPEC, and more importantly, what Africa can learn from this moment in the midst of this rapidly shifting global order. Because once you understand this, you start to realize that the gap is not resources. The gap is strategy. You start to see that this isn't just about oil. It's about power. It's about leverage. And it's about the courage to move when the moment comes.